Hey beautiful people, it's Courtney. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 different water slime recipes and seeing if they work. And before we get started, of course, we have our notification squad. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let me know that you did that in the comments below. For this first recipe, I'm going to be testing this aloe water slime. So first, I'm just adding in some aloe to a bowl, and we're gonna see if this makes a slime. And basically, there was no specific measurements or anything, so I'm just kind of adding in a little bit of water and mixing it together. And then it said to add in some salt, so I'm mixing in a little bit of salt, and as you can see, the salt instantly made it turn more liquid. You could watch it liquefy right there. And then as I mixed it, it just became more and more like a liquid. So this one was definitely a fail. It was more like a slime before I even started. And then at the end, it was just not a slime whatsoever. So a big fail on this one. For this next recipe, we're using Model Magic clay, and I'm just adding in a little bit into a bowl. And again, there was no specific measurement, so I'm just adding in a little bit of water. Now, I've done Model Magic and lotion before, and it's a really good no glue recipe and no borax recipe, but I've never just tried the clay and water. So you want to heat it up. I did it for about 20 seconds, and it will be hot when it comes out. So make sure to let it sit before you start kneading it with your hands. Now, the water definitely did loosen up the clay. At first it was really messy. You just have to really work it into the clay and keep kneading it, and then it eventually will come together. I do think the lotion method works a little bit better. You don't have to worry about it being hot when you're handling it, but this one did work kind of. As you can see here, it was pulling apart a lot at first, but once you keep working with it, it will kind of form more together. I personally think the lotion method makes it a little bit more stretchy and kind of not so stiff. As you can see, as I'm pulling it, it will break sometimes. You have to just be careful with it, but it does definitely change the texture of it. Model Magic clay, you definitely couldn't do this with it just by itself. So as you can see, it does work kind of, I would say. So this was about as good as it's going to get, and there we have it. So there is that second recipe with Model Magic clay and water. It kind of work. This next recipe called for some shampoo. So I'm taking some shampoo and putting it into a little bowl, and then you want to use kind of a thick texture shampoo, and then I'm just adding in a little bit of water. Again, there was no specific measurements for these, so I just went with trying a little bit first and seeing if that would work at all. And then I'm also adding in a tiny bit of salt, which is supposed to activate it, and it did not. I kept mixing and mixing and mixing, and it did not form a slime. So I added more salt to see if that would make a difference. Still nothing. And then I even added more salt, and it just did not work. I really don't think a lot of these water clear slime recipes actually work. I think a lot of them are actually faked. I just don't see how this would really combine to form a slime. So this last one I wanted to share with you because I know it's something that does work. It's a fun kind of activity, but it's not necessarily a slime. So I've done this before and just thought I would share it with you if you want something fun to play with. So it's basically just cornstarch and water, and this is going to form like an oobleck. I think that's how you say it, but basically it's a non-Newtonian solution. So it's going to be liquid, and then when you add pressure to it, if you squeeze it with your hands, it's going to form into a solid. And then when you release it, it's going to be a liquid again. So it's really fun to play with. It's exactly kind of the same concept as quicksand, so it's pretty cool. And the more water you add, the harder it is going to be to stir. You just want to add water in a little bit at a time until you're left with a liquidy with a little bit of cornstarch left like this. So that's when you can go ahead and play with it. Again, it's not going to form anything like a slime, but it's still a fun little experiment, fun to play around with. And so that's another option with just water and cornstarch if you want to do that. I thought I would share it with you guys because it's kind of cool. It feels awesome on your hands. It's really fun to play with. And since the other slimes were kind of a fail, I thought I would share this with you guys as well. I think I did it in a video a really long time ago, so I thought I would just throw it in the end here in case you haven't seen it. But fun to play around with, fun little craft. So that's it for this video. Please let me know if you've tried a water slime recipe that actually works, and maybe I'll try those out in the future. In the meantime, if you missed my last videos, you could click on over to the side of me, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!